Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Lions Den podcast. We're here to talk about everything Club Leon in English. So, for anybody listening to us via YouTube or any other platform, hello and welcome. And as always, you're more than welcome to join us in the chat to keep the conversation going. Jornada tres, Louis and Carlos, gentlemen, how are you feeling tonight? We have lots to talk about. What happened in the Leon versus Atlas? So, maybe give me just a little bit about a couple of words or just a feeling of what the Atlas and Leon match left you with.
It's about the clearest definition of a dream start to a season you're ever going to get, isn't it? It's been a while since we've been able to say that.
Yeah, definitely. I think for me, it started off a little bit slow, but once the subs came in, completely different ball game.
Completely different ball game. Louis, you made the trip. You want to tell us a little bit about cómo se sentía the estadio? I mean, obviously, everybody was intrigued with James, if he would make his debut or not. And I'm sure, Atlas people taking out their jersey, they were kind of, also excited to see James. Maybe tell us a little bit about qué se vivía en el estadio.
Yeah. Well, first of all, it was probably the biggest respuesta I've seen for an Atlas match, except for the final, which we're not ever going to talk about again, other than to make reference to that. Uh, Normally, for a regular season match, even if it's the first match of the season, I remember one other time I was there for Jornada Uno, I want to say Clausura 2018. Goals by Rifle Andrade and Mauro Boselli to also give us a 2-1 win in that match way back in 2018. And I've never seen that kind of respuesta. There was a lot of buzz in the air about this match. And I don't know. I can't imagine it's because, the fans have a particularly high hope for what's going to be of this Atlas season. I think it was because of James. The lines to get in were pretty long, and we didn't even know if he was going to play. And obviously, if we didn't know, the Atlas fans had no idea either. But there was a buzz in the air about that. I mean, just seeing him there on the bench to start the match, I mean, it was causing a little bit of a stir inside the stadium. Not particularly in my section, but I did see later there were a lot of folks in Colombia jerseys. I don't know if they're just fans of the Colombia team or if there actually were Colombians in Mexico making the trip from elsewhere. But there was a lot of support for James in the stands. And yeah, I mean, other than that, it was, it had the vibe of a Leon Atlas. These are teams that have a bunch of recent shared history, and the fan bases don't particularly like each other very much for the cercanía of those two, the teams and that history that they share. And so, once the match got going, it was just game on. Leon versus Atlas, we want to win this game. And they did too.
Definitely.
Definitely. Go on.
Yeah, I mean, like I said in the beginning, my initial thoughts were like kind of slow, kind of a slow start. We were playing with kind of an alternative starting 11 because some of our guys were out or were not ready. Um, but I mean, yeah, you can kind of tell that like the atmosphere in the building or in the on the pitch was different. I honestly didn't expect that many people to show up for an Atlas game, period, let alone Atlas Leon. Like when they showed the panoramic view of the stadium, there was literally, it almost looked sold out to me. And I was like, why are there so many people here? It can't be the James Mania, right? Like, that
Well,
can't be
with
it.
one caveat, they don't sell the upper deck seats behind the benches where the camera well is.
I saw that.
So there's a huge area that's not sold. But yes, the areas that were sold were pretty full.
Pretty full. I mean, would you say it's because of James, or is Atlas that good this season? Or
Well, like I said, I mean, I went to one Jornada Uno León Atlas in Jalisco one time before, and it was not nearly that full. And again, there's never been I've never seen an Atlas León that full, except for the unmentionable. So I think it had to be James Mania. It had to be. What else could it be?
yeah,
I
I
think
saw a
it had to
picture.
be low key.
I saw a picture that I think like Dudene posted before the match of how they had like jersey sales outside, all the merchandise, and there were like James jerseys everywhere. They were already on sale outside the
There
stadium.
were. I did see some. Yes, I did see some of those.
Did you buy
So,
one?
Louis, do you have one already?
Today I went to shout out to Fabian Padilla at Fanzon Pambol in Leon. Anyone listening, I don't know why you'd be in. If you're in Leon, I don't know if you'd be listening to us, but if you are, he does the best work with jersey personalization in Leon. So I went to him today, precisely today. Could not wait one moment longer. I went with him with my new gray third Equipacion kit, took it to him and had him right then and there put the James number 10 on my jersey. So I'm ready to go for the James debut at home on Saturday with my jersey all ready to go.
Wow.
See, I
Can we
think I'm
see
gonna
it?
get that same one because I was thinking I was like the gray one, and then I'll do the James bit too on
It's
that
cool. I
one.
like the gray one. I like the gray one for a couple of reasons. I guess I could go get it and bring it and put it in front of the camera, but there's all kinds of little details in the design, like the Arco de la Calzada and things like that, things specific to Leon that are on the jersey. But also, I don't know if this is a hot take, but as much as I love the classic crest that they're using for the 80th anniversary, I kind of prefer the standard Leon shield, the one that says Leon on it, the one that we've been using for as long as I've been following the team.
Yeah.
I kind of like that one better, honestly, and so this jersey has that one on it, so I like that element of
Man,
it.
I'm kind of a fan of the one that we have now, to be honest. Like, I
Do you
feel
think
like
because you
it's
got used to it, to seeing it?
no, honestly, I just feel
No?
like it looks more like football, you know? There's more history behind
It's
it.
cool. It's classic and it's cool. I'm not saying it isn't. I don't know. I got a special place in my heart for just the standard crest.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of like the one. I wish they made it permanent, the one we have now. It's just, uh, I don't know. I don't know. Like it shows the date, 1944. Like that's, when the club was founded, and then it has our name, Club Leon. Like, and then the lion right in the middle. I don't know. It seems to all fit perfectly. This current crest.
That's
I don't know.
interesting.
I mean, I'm
I
not mad at
think,
the old one,
yeah,
but my personal preference is this new one.
I think I've gotten used to this new one, and I can see what you mean, Carlos, about like it just looks like we've been around for like a jillion years or something. It's like a very
Yeah.
classic crest. But then I do see Louis' side because I also you know just go back to that Club Leon crest. And then what was funny? I was looking at the pictures of James. 'Cause obviously, he looks really good in the white one. So that's why I'm contemplating. I'm like, I like the gray one with James, but the white one looks nice too, especially in long sleeve. And then I was looking at that picture and I was like, even the cement dude looks really good on the white, like on him.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to choose, Cody. You can get them both.
How much is that going to cost me? Oh, but
They'll
this is the
cost you
thing.
about 3,000 pesos. Yeah.
I looked on Charlie to try and see if I can get the gray one because I was like, let me see if I can get it before I go to Leon, right? And it's not available. The only one you can get online with Charlie, through Charlie with James is the green one, which I thought was
Mhm.
weird. I thought was like, why
That's
can't
true.
you customize the other two online?
No, you gotta go to my boy Fabian. I'm telling you.
Does he
I will.
charge less?
I believe well, I don't know what they're charging for on Charlie. I haven't looked what they're charging for the personalization. Um, he definitely charges less than La Guarida, and he does better work.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to keep it in mind then. But yeah, I think I'll still contemplate which one I want, but I will get one.
Yeah.
um, so looking at the lineup that we started with, I think it's safe to say that looking at this lineup against Atlas, this we probably won't see this lineup ever again in the rest of the season. Obviously, we have different incorporaciones. Um, we have Mendoza, who obviously, because of what happened, won't be available until a couple more games. Obviously, Echeverria's, just is barely going to get registered and all that. So seeing the lineup, I'm like, I don't think we'll see this lineup at any other time, just because I think we have other players that will fill those positions. But maybe just from this initial lineup, what did you guys think? Did you guys like any player in particular? Like obviously we did say Sebastian Fierro, we did say Rigoni. But other than that, there was classic Leon players.
I would venture a guess and say, well, we will never see that exact starting 11 ever again.
Yeah.
I think that was just a match, the first match day kind of thing. And I have high hopes for all the refuerzos that came in. I give, of the ones that debuted, I have highest hopes probably for Rigoni and for Fonseca, but I'll give them a little bit of a pass. They're not only changing leagues, they're changing countries. Those were their first minutes in El Fútbol Mexicano in their lives. So, I'll give them a little bit of time. It's not like I saw anything particularly bad from them.
Yeah.
But I do expect them to get a little bit more well adapted, just as would naturally be the case for anyone who's never played in Liga MX before. I don't know. There's something about Liga MX. It's just different. It takes some getting used to. It's not like many of the other leagues in the region. So, I'll give them that. But yeah, I wouldn't expect to see this starting lineup again. And, it was a little flat. It was a little flat in that first half. It was just like
very flat.
It's not that it's not like they were giving up any dangerous chances, but they weren't generating anything either. It was just kind of a dull, flat game from both sides.
It was boring. I was like, oh my God, I was so excited for this game. And this first half is dreadful to watch.
Yeah. Well, we waited so long, and then we had to wait an extra week longer than everyone else.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we were just waiting forever to see that team. And then the whole James thing, and so the anticipation was just brewing and brewing and brewing, and the pot was boiling, and it was just, and then that was the first half we got.
Yeah, so the whole time I was like, do you know how many eyes are watching this game? Like how many Colombians are watching this game? Like, oh, James tiene nuevo equipo, va a jugar con el León de México, and then they have that first half. It's like, man.
especially the Junior de Barranquilla social media was going nuts. I mean, as soon as they saw him that he didn't start, that he was sitting on the bench, and they had the shots of him sitting on the bench, they were like posting all that and saying, "Look, he's warming the bench in this team too, just like he has in his last 5 or 6."
Saw that.
And then,
That's after he came
in and rescued the match, they were pretty quiet.
Yeah.
That's so shady. But if anything must be said, it's that when James came in, the game changed.
They're just butthurt. What can I say?
Yeah.
I mean, they really are.
They literally are.
For me, like the standout player, at least in the first half, was Rigoni. Like I honestly did not expect him to play that well after sitting out for 7 months. And this is probably his first action in 7 months.
Yeah.
And he looked pretty good, pretty decent. And he has a nice left leg. Good first touch. He knows what he's doing, passes and moves, cuts. I mean, I think there was one play where he gave it was a pretty long pass. I don't remember who it was too. I think it was Chavita Reyes. And I was like, wow, that's a nice pass. Like the vision that this guy has. I think he can probably turn into something really special moving forward. Like I'd keep an eye on him for sure.
Yeah, he did very well. I was very excited for Frias, for Adonis, seeing him he's just a monster. Like I just love him so much. I admire him so much. And he's just like, me da, like just transpires to the TV, just like ese es mi gallo, he se va a defender, se la va a rifar, that's the vibes he gives me, and that's what he gave.
Well, and he'd been hurt for so long, he'd been out of the picture for so long, we kind of forgot what we were missing when we had him on there, how much difference he makes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and shouts to Adonis for like going in there and saying, "Hey, I'm taking this penalty." Like everybody wanted James to take that penalty, but it's like in such a crucial play, such a crucial time of the game where that the goalie knows James, like they know each other very well from Selección. Like there's probably been many shootouts in Selección where Camilo Vargas has stopped his penalties, so they really know each other. So for Adonis to say, "Hey, give me this ball, I got it," and then for him to put it away the way he did was just incredible. Like big ups to him for sure.
Yeah, I was instantly thinking, I remember we had this debate on one of the pods we did when Mena left the team, and we're like, okay, who is our penalty taker now? And we had a little discussion about it. And I don't remember, I might have said it, one of you might have said it. I thought Adonis, because of his free kick taking ability, might have been a good choice for at least an occasional penalty taker if they were going to do it by committee or if they were going to have one person do it. I thought he might have been a solid choice because he's got such a great free kick. I mean, he's good at set pieces. So I thought maybe, but this is if I'm not mistaken, this is the first penalty he's ever taken, or this was the first penalty he'd ever taken with Club Leon, at least in game. I'm not talking about a shootout, like in game.
Yeah. I think that's good to note about, because I kept hearing like, oh, why isn't James taking? I'm like, you guys are freaking out.
Or
like
even,
obviously,
or even Jonder was on the field at that point. Like, I was surprised it wasn't him.
I'm glad it was Adonis.
He does not look good. Hot take, Jonder.
No, Carlos, I liked him a lot.
I liked Jonder's minutes.
Listen,
he doesn't look good unless you mean he doesn't look good taking PKs. But I liked his. I liked
PKs. Like the last PK he took is like I probably wouldn't have chosen him. But I mean, on the pitch he looked okay. But that goal he scored wasn't really a goal. The way he kicked it was horrible. Like, if that doesn't hit the Atlas player, we'd be talking about how bad of a game he had, because he's like kicking it and it's like crossing, through the air, through the box. It's not even a shot. It's not even close to being on target. It's just the fact that the Atlas player crossed paths with the ball and it hit him in the body. But like, that was a horrible shot for being that open. If that's what we're going to expect from him moving forward, like getting all these nice passes, nice through passes from our players, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think he has to like figure out how to get his shots on target.
I'm gonna disagree with you, Carlos. I really like John. Like, I just really did. Obviously, I think me and Tom talked, and I think obviously the James was expected, right? And obviously, I mean, the game changed when he came on. Like, the vision he has, los toques, los pases, like he's thinking 2 steps ahead, right? Like, it's just the quality is there. Period. Like, no one can deny that. But I think another player that had a good game was Jonder. I think people underrate him. Like, I think obviously we have James, we have other, but Jonder is special, and I think he has great body movement. O sea, se quita se desmarca. Like, he has good body movements. He knows where to get in position to turn. So I think he did well. Obviously, I think this lineup will change. I think in los partidos que se afinen un poquito más, like, I think he'll explode because he's really, really good.
I think people counted him out after he kind of fell off a cliff. Tail end of his first season, he just wasn't a factor down the stretch. After a very, very hot start. I mean, he was leading the tabla de goleo for first half of the season, and then he just kind of fell off, and people have been counting him out. So this is this is a chance for him to prove himself again. And just for the record, the gol del Gane, his goal, it was on frame. It was going in anyway if the guy did not deflect it. Talking about getting shots on target.
Carlos is
was it really? No, I'm just.
It was. No, you can check the replay again. It was going in, even if I think that's why they ultimately ended up giving it to him and not calling it an autogol. They ended up giving it to Jonder, not calling it an autogol, because if you check the replay, it was going in anyway.
Okay. All right, good to know. Good to know. I don't know. I feel like he could have been a little more lethal in his shots. Like, I don't know. We have to have we need him to be that key lead. You know what I mean? Like, this team can't have a very strong midfield with a world-class number 10 giving him those passes for him to just miss them, or for them to not be on target. Like, he needs to be a killer.
Yeah. I mean, could he have been a bit more afinado? Yes, but I mean, I trust him. I mean, I think we've seen it. Yeah, I think we've seen him do it. Obviously, what you guys mentioned about falling off, yes, but I think there's so much potential this season for him just to afinarse un poquito más and que todos se acoplen bien, And I think Louis mentioned Fonseca. I really like Fonseca, though. I liked his energy because he came in just like, okay, I'm ready. I think the only thing is kind of knowing what position or what area to cover, because he was just all over the place, right? Which gives me a good vibes. Like, you know what? Like, he will run all the time and anywhere, and he'll defend, right? So if you're playing James, then Fonseca will need to do his dirty work. And I think they just need to kind of afinar esas cositas un poco because I do think Fonseca will be a vital piece for this Leon. So hopefully the next couple of games we see a better version of Fonseca in that aspect.
Oh, you're not even talking about Echeverria yet, who was just announced.
Did Louis freeze?
Yeah, I'm having a little bit of a
Oh, sorry.
having a little bit of a janky connection here, but it's holding on. Yeah, no, I agree about Fonseca. I think all these guys, they just got to settle into a groove. They got to figure out how they're going to contribute. They got to figure out what they're going to do. I mean, one match, new league. You know, in Rigoni's case, not having played in 7 months. Fonseca's case, coming from a big club, but being a bench player who the fan base kind of counted out down there. He's got a lot to prove. So, you know, it's natural that he comes out with a lot of energy. He wants to show, you know, the River Plate haters that he's a valuable piece. So that will be interesting to see going forward for sure.
But yeah, like Carlos mentioned, Echeverria just got signed, so just adding another quality piece into this Leon. I mean, it's just very exciting times, I want to say.
Yeah, but Echeverria, he's kind of like a Swiss Army knife. Apparently, he can play like central. He apparently can even play as a winger. I mean, contención is what he plays in the selección, but we'll see because we'll see how they decide to use him. We'll see if he plays on Saturday. That'll be interesting to see.
I think I saw that there's a chance, but I think he still needs to be registered. So unless the registration goes through.
He's not registered.
Well, if he doesn't play on Saturday, hopefully he'll play on Tuesday. Remember, we got a doble jornada coming up.
We do have a doble jornada. Who do we play after Juarez?
Take a wild guess.
Is it another team that we're not? Oh.
Is it over there or at home?
No, it's at home. We got 2 straight at home.
Nice.
Oh, that's nice.
That's gonna be fun.
I was gonna say, I was like, are they gonna have all these like fireworks and stuff for James on Saturday? Like, is he gonna walk?
Supposedly, they're going to officially present him when the match is over. That was what I read. Like the match is at 5, and then at 7, and then at 7 they're going to have they're going to officially present him as a member of the club. So we'll see.
I think they should do it for all the players. Like I think all the refuerzos should come out like behind him, maybe, or maybe he should be like James should be the last one to come out. But like I don't know. I don't want that like our players to think like, oh, this guy like he's so special, you know.
Well, yeah, I agree with that. I'll just think it'll be real awkward if we don't win the game.
Maybe that's why they should do it before. But then there's like the mind games now.
I mean, Bravos just beat Cruz Azul. And I mean, Cruz Azul is
Cruz Azul is just
a dumpster fire right now.
Yeah, they're exactly, Carlos. They're a dumpster fire, and I think with everything going on in Cruz Azul over there, like whoever plays them next couple of games will be very interesting. But okay, anything else? What do you guys think about Cisneros?
I think he had some good minutes. I didn't think he was all that bad. I mean, he did have a chance to score, but he just didn't put it in. I mean, he was supposed to kick with his left, but he tried to twist his body and put it in with his right, and it just went wide. After a beautiful pass by James, I mean, world class. Just out of like he has his back towards him, and it's like he sees him running behind him or something, and then he just twists his body, gives him a nice pass. But I didn't think he was all that bad. I think he's gonna have a nice resurgence this season for us. Even though we just signed him, but I think he'll have a nice resurgence.
He fits the profile of a guy who's going to come in and do really well for us. A reclamation project, you know, in a team like Tigres where he's going to get buried, you know, or Chivas, I should say, not Tigres. You know, in these teams where they just get buried and then they lose confidence, so they get a fresh start, and those are the kind of players we like.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Anything else that anybody wants to point out about this Leon Atlas game?
Yeah, I knew James was going to play. There was a lot of chatter beforehand about oh, he's there, but he's not going to play. They're saving him for the home debut. He hasn't had enough time to train, and they really want to make a spectacle of it, having him debut at home and all this kind of stuff. But I was like, nah, that's BS. Like Toto Berrizzo's not that kind of coach. Like if he has this guy available and he thinks he's going to help us win the game, then he's going to put him in. He doesn't care about the theatrics. And there were some people who were wanting him to wait to debut at home so that they could see it. And
Louis froze. Louis froze.
Come on, Louis, come on.
Lo perdimos.
Ni modo.
I think what Lou was saying, that there was people waiting to see him debut. I wanted him to debut at home. I really did. But
Me too.
I think if anything, I saw that on Twitter. It was kind of like James and his motivation to, like, quickly, like, get in, like, show up, know that he's serious, like he wants to play. So I think a lot of that came from him being ready, whenever he was, because obviously he had a very chaotic week. Thinking about it, like I was
Yeah.
when we were watching, I was watching this game and I was like, this dude barely got here on Monday, and he's done all this stuff with the press. Lo presentaron, fue a agarrar su visa, viajó a Guadalajara. Now he's playing at the stadium. Y ya debutó, like all in 1 week. Like that's a lot.
Yeah.
Well, he debuted and was the difference in the game. Let's not get this twisted. I mean, he he was the catalyst that turned it from dead in the water to winning and looking good doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of feel like it was like, part of me says, okay, we went into that stadium looking for a draw. Like we were going to be okay with the draw. But as soon as we started losing, I feel like Berizzo kind of, or the coaching staff, they kind of felt like a sense of urgency. Like we can't lose. Like this is not a
Mhm.
losable game. We're not being, overpowered by Atlas. Like this is a winnable game. And
For
so,
sure.
echamos toda la carne al asador, and immediately, like things changed. Immediately things changed. As soon as he first touched the ball, it was like head up, vision, long pass, like everything changed. And I mean, it would have been a shame if we lost, because they showed a shot of the palco where Jesus Martinez was sitting at, and everyone was there. Like Andres Guardado was sitting there,
Oh, the
Rodrigo
Guardado thing.
Fernandez, like
They even flew out Echeverria. He was there at the palco.
Echeverria was there. Like there were a lot of people like waiting for this moment. And I don't know, just if we hadn't won that game, it would have been a real shame, in my opinion. It would have been like such a bitter taste.
I would have been pissed because obviously I hate losing to Atlas. Period.
Yeah.
Like, sorry if Javi's not here. Ratlas,
Yeah.
Yeah, just to touch quickly on the Guardado thing, there was some rumblings after the match that they were going to attempt to call us out for alineación indebida,
Ridiculous.
because Guardado had gone out to warm up before the match, despite being not convocado for this particular match. But if you look at the rules, it clearly states it's only alineación indebida if you're on the pitch during the match, not the warm up leading up to it. So they had no case, and obviously
It's
it
a
seems
joke,
like that.
though, that they even tried to do that. To me, I
I
was
don't
just
think
like,
they
this...
tried. I don't think they filed the complaint. If they had, we would have heard something about it. I don't
It's
think
probably
they.
something somebody started on social media.
Well, because they have history of doing that. A few years ago, they did that against America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was our old friend Federico Viñas who was ineligible to play and was on the bench
Oh, was
during.
he?
Yeah, it was Viñas. He was on the bench as
I didn't know that.
as a substitute, as a potential substitute, despite not being convocado. That is an infraction. That is alineación
Yeah.
indebida. But that was not the situation with Guardado.
No.
He was well off the pitch and in the palco long before the match started, so there was no case to be made. It was just they were just trying to drum up drama. But
being
the only
dramatic.
thing that would have been worse than losing to Atlas would have been winning against Atlas and then losing the points sobre la mesa. So luckily that didn't happen.
Yeah, that would have been horrible.
That would have been bad.
So just to wrap up the other jornada games, America again with their sub-23 players drew against Xolos. Tigres winning against Mazatlan. San Luis winning against Puebla. El Puebla de Guede hasn't won yet either. Necaxa beating 3-2 to Chivas. Juarez 1-0 against Cruz Azul. Toluca and Monterrey drawing 1-1. Our game winning 2-1 against Atlas. Querétaro beating Pumas 3-2. You guys didn't watch that game. That was horrible. And then Pachuca beating Santos 2-1.
Why would America use their sub-23 in a league match and then save their starters for a meaningless friendly 2 days later against Messi?
Because they need their all-star team against this Messi team.
It's so stupid.
It's
But
probably in
Why?
their
Because it's a
tournament.
money grab. It's a money
but
grab
our old
tournament.
pal, it meant that our old pal Rodolfo Cota got the start in
Oh yeah, just him and the youngsters.
in the match against Xolos. Yeah.
Him and the youngsters. No, I mean honestly, I think it's a good opportunity for the America Sub-23. I just think there's so much talent there that they just need to go somewhere else because they're not going to continue playing.
I know, but it's
Obviously the
also like
America players are going to come back.
it's also so arrogant. Like, oh, we can just play our we can play our sub-23 kids for two league matches, and we're not even worried whether we get those points or not because we know we're going to get them later. I don't know. It's just bad juju for me.
I mean, but if they have the quality, why not? I mean, these kids deserve minutes. It's like you look at Querétaro, and Querétaro is just the buildup of all the leftovers and oldies, and it's like, well, I think it's just a waste of a team at this point.
I don't know if I were. Who is it? Osorio who's coaching Cholos now? If I
Yeah.
were Osorio, I'd be annoyed. I'd like a falta de respeto. I don't know. Maybe that's just my way of thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I just look at it a bit differently. And if anything, like they could have won that game against Xolos, and that would have been putting things in a big picture of, well, this America beat Querétaro's first team, and imagínate si hubiera ganado a Xolos, then it's like that just says like something is up with the league. That your Sub-23 players are beating first team of other teams, like that's the like alarm. It's like I said, especially Querétaro. I mean, they have a lot of leftovers of like a lot of the bad players. But then again, Paulo Barrera still playing at 37, and he scored 2 goals. I know.
Yeah, he scored two monster goals too. Yeah.
Pumas, though. If you see those highlights, like the defenders were just like jogging, and the goalie, poor goalie, the youngster's second start, se las comió también.
Yeah.
Speaking of
that's
goalies,
beautiful league.
Speaking of goalies, Thiago Volpi is leaving Toluca and going back to Brazil. Why couldn't we pick him up?
Because I don't know. You know what confused me? That like the deadline between the MX clubs, right, is different than the deadline for international ones. But yeah, after there was still some kind of bit of movements between like Liga MX teams, and I was like, how is that allowed? Still,
right? They were saying that Julio Gonzalez, who was also maybe possibly sort of rumored to be coming our way, was going to be the replacement for Volpi, but supposedly that you can't. Supposedly we're past the deadline where you can make those moves. So I was also confused by that.
Yeah,
Gotti.
doesn't make
Although
any
I don't
sense.
think I don't think they would bring in Julio Gonzalez anyway because they have what's his name, Luis Hernandez. Is that his name in the bench there in Toluca? Who's he was the starter before Volpi was there.
Ah,
No me acuerdo, but
after Talavera, but before Volpi.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
because
Volpi was
Volpi's been
brought
there forever.
in by. Well, actually, he was brought in by Nacho Ambriz. When Nacho Ambriz first signed with Toluca, le armaron el equipo, and he was like, "Hey, Volpi, I know you from Querétaro. Like, we went to I think it was a Copa MX final together. Like, we have unfinished business in Liga MX," and he brought him over from Brazil, wherever he was playing.
Yeah.
I don't remember where he was playing.
Hmm.
So since that project is over with Nacho Ambriz, like, what's the point of staying here? You know?
Yeah.
And there's rumors about there's rumors. I mean, little whispers about Thiago Volpi becoming nationalized and like nacionalizado for la selección, and like I know he doesn't want that. Like he wants to play for Brazil.
But he's never going to play for Brazil.
Exactly.
That is the most difficult selección to break into in the world, I think.
Yeah. That is
Maybe
quite
Argentina's
hard.
up there too.
especially as a goalkeeper when you have so few opportunities.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I mean, I guess. I mean, we'll see what happens with Cruz Azul because they may lose their coach. So then that would be already a coach gone in the jornada cuatro. Um, after having just 8 new ones with the other team. So I mean, that Cruz Azul is just a whole novela, and I'm like, there's just so many components to it that it's just complicated. And I think
Yeah.
on the end, there's so much fault that kind of the club, like the, es culpa del club, es culpa de Anselmi, es culpa de su agente. Like it's just too complicated.
They'll be fine. Jorge Baba is available.
Nah, I mean, imagine they go after like a Nacho Ambriz
That'd be more likely
No,
than Jorge Baba. Yeah.
or like a
no,
Paiva.
no. Well, his name was on the board. His name, Diego Alonso.
No, Nacho Ambriz though. Why not Nacho Ambriz?
Nah, Nacho needs a break for Liga MX. Like after
You
what
think
happened at
so?
Santos, I heard he was gonna go throughout, go to clubs in Europe and kind of update his,
He's going soul searching.
methodology. Yeah, he's
He's
going
going on
soul
a
searching.
he's going on a vision quest.
Yeah,
He
I
was
think he
rumored
needs it.
for he was rumored for Costa Rica, right? The selección. But
Was he?
they gave the job to Burger Club. You guys didn't get that
Wait,
one.
you said what?
You guys didn't get
No,
that.
I don't.
They gave the job to Piojo.
Oh, but wait,
Oh
what
yeah,
did you
yeah, yeah, yeah,
say
yeah, yeah, yeah.
before that?
Burger Club.
Because I was gonna be like,
Burger,
they gave it to Piojo, Carlos.
Burger Klopp. I got it.
That's his online nickname that everyone trolls him with.
Ah,
Burger Club.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Piojo
that's
Herrera is a
funny.
new coach. And he was like, you know what? I talked a lot about what's his name? Gerardo Martino. Not
Martino.
not living in blah blah blah. And so I'm gonna go live over there full time and actually go to go to games and see and scout. And I'm like, fair enough. But he lost, didn't he, against USA?
He did.
It was last night, right?
It sure was. He
Was it
lost
3-1?
against. It was 3-0, I
2-1,
think.
3-1?
3-0.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, against a bunch of MLS players who are not going to be part of the plan going forward.
Who do you guys think is going to be the second coach to get fired this season, or is it too early to predict?
Well, are we gonna count on 70 or no?
No.
Okay.
No,
Like
he's not getting
fired.
fired. He would step down.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, isn't Santos the only winless team?
Yeah.
I don't think they're not gonna part ways so quickly with Tano though.
I hope they do, and I
Why?
can talk freely because
Are you
yeah,
not a Tano believer?
no. We'll talk after after the podcast. But
Okay.
I'm more free to talk about how I feel about that team. I think they might be a possibility that they'll let go of Thanos at some point.
This season?
I would think so. I mean, look at the games. They look the same or probably worse than they looked last year.
Yeah, but not like who did they bring in?
No one.
Exactly. And JJ Macías ya se lesionó.
Oh my god!
Did you guys see that first game?
I told Tom we were watching, and I was like, watch him get injured like after he scores this penalty or something, because that's the joke.
It was you. You cursed him.
Pues es que nomás se la pasa lesionado, and this is the thing. Clubs are stupid, right? Period. Right. There's no club that is very, 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 very smart. Okay. Most clubs make very stupid decisions.
Yeah.
Why would you pay to bring a player if you saw his history of how much he's actually played versus the times he's gotten injured, and you're gonna bring him y se la ha pasado lesionado the whole last season? And this
Who's
man
the-
is cashing out money for what? And then he scores one penalty and then he's already grabbing his leg. He's injured. Like
It was
stupid
Nacho Ambriz.
decision.
It was Nacho Ambriz who brought him there.
But this is the thing, right? This is the thing. Clubs sometimes give too much power to the technicals, right? Because the technicals are like, oh, I want this player and I want this player and I want this player. And then what happens?
I
The
mean, we're the
coach
perfect
leaves
example. We're
and
the
they're
perfect
stuck.
example. We had
Lo que pasó con Napoli and what's his face?
Napoli and Medina. Yeah, exactly.
Ya no sabemos qué hacer con ellos. Nadie quiere a Napoli. Nadie lo quiere. Y Medina le encontramos un lugar, but like
Yeah.
stupid
We're the-
decisions.
Yeah. So to answer your question, Carlos, it's hard to say. All the teams at the bottom of the table are estrenando nuevos entrenadores, except for Mazatlan, who already has one season with Vuse. Vuse could be an option. I mean, if they don't have a season, I mean, like he could be out.
You don't
the
think
door.
he'll like quit before he gets fired?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, he'd be like, he'd be like Cartman, he'd be like, "You guys, I'm going home,"
¿Cómo?
I didn't want to say it too loud because not exactly cursing, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to draw the ire of our moderator here.
Oh gosh. So let's see. There are games tomorrow. Tomorrow is San Luis Necaxa. Classic Viernes Botanero game. San Luis Necaxa, Mazatlán Toluca.
Some of these Viernes Botaneros games are like, you might think, oh, it's a boring match, but like,
Oh, no, they're
like,
good.
really good.
Who is it this
some
time?
of them are really good.
I haven't
So
even looked.
San Luis Necaxa, Mazatlán Toluca, and Xolos Querétaro.
All of them.
It's a
All of
classic
them.
Viernes Botanero. Like, just
Y van a ser partidazos, I bet you.
I mean, I always have liked watching Xolos on a Friday at home. It's always like the 9:00 game. I always,
Yep.
So I think that'll be a good game. Obviously, San Luis Necaxa should be interesting. See how Larcamón does.
Yep.
And then, Mazatlán Toluca. I mean, Toluca drew against Monterrey, so and Mazatlan's at home. We'll see. We'll see what happens with those games.
Good matches.
Good matches. And then Saturday, obviously our 5:00 game, León Juárez, Cruz Azul Puebla as well. And Chivas Tigres, Santos America, Monterrey Pachuca, and then only Sunday game is Pumas Atlas. And then doble jornada. So we play Tuesday.
Damn, Tuesday. That means like
We do.
That means like if we get a good lead on Bravos, we gotta like sub some guys out.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, because that'll be a tough match. Interesting match. Interesting because we'll see how Chivas does this weekend, because that team is very questionable. And Oscar Garcia, I mean, he played Chirito the full 90 minutes, and they did not look good. So,
Well, I mean, they got
good.
Puligol back, right?
yeah, but it's just hype. It's just hype.
It's
just hype.
Oh, and people were trying to compare that signing to the James signing. I'm like, give me a break.
No. Who said that?
Chivas fans.
Delusional Chivas fans. Yeah.
No.
Okay, someone told me that. Like, no, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they were getting completely shut down. The posts that I saw, like the comments were just tearing them into them for saying that. But no, it's not comparable.
That is nothing. So yeah, I mean, I think Juarez did well adjusting to Cruz Azul. So props to them for winning that game. It'll be interesting because Juarez have a very young coach, Martin Varini. So I think, obviously, he can't grab too much of our games. We only played against Atlas. So I think he's cut short with how much he can study us. especially for
Well, and
last
it's not
season
going to be
because
the
we have
same
more.
lineup.
Yeah, it's not,
It's
and
not
it
going to
was
be the same lineup, and I mean we're counting on so many new players that were not with the team before to be major contributors this season. We're
Yeah.
really a tough team to scout right now.
yeah. That's the
I
advantage.
mean, and
we have.
even players that we're bringing back guys like Adonis, who hasn't been a factor in a long time. We're bringing in, Ivan Moreno's missed a bunch of time. I thought he played really well against Atlas.
Me too.
We just look very, very different than we did previously.
Yeah.
I think the only
Exactly.
predictable thing about us right now is who the ball's going through.
Yeah.
You know who's going to be handling the ball. So
Do we think James starts against Juarez?
I've been seeing tweets that he will. So I wouldn't be mad if he does it and comes off the bench. That way he's ready to go for
Same.
Tuesday.
I would love to see him tear Chivas a new one. So I'm okay with him sitting out.
Yeah.
Or getting coming in like he did. Well, maybe he can come in at halftime or minute 60,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And then go from minute 1 on Tuesday. That would be my preference.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
I think it's
I
important,
think he'll come off the
especially.
bench.
Yeah, I think that's the wiser decision, but I do think this game against Juarez is important just to keep racking points. You know what I mean? Like, I know
Yeah.
because obviously we have a game Tuesday, it's against Chivas, but I'm saying I think this season, just like this game, we can win. We can win. So just go ahead and do it and win
We
it,
can
and
win.
then go into
We
Tuesday.
can win. And we can win both of them.
Yeah,
And honestly, the home field. I mean, the home field has to be much more of a fortress this season than it was last season. And we struggled to get any points at home last season.
Yeah.
Well, we struggled to get points in general, but home was just not. It was just not the fortress that it needs to be. And this time around, with almost all of the Fierrabonos sold out, at least
Exactly.
in Preferente and in Zona A, every single seat sold out in Fierrabonos. That home field advantage has to be a major factor this season. I mean, home always used to be a fortress. We would play at home, we would expect to get 3 points always, and it just hasn't been that way. It needs to be that way again. So I agree. They really, really need to get these 3 points against Juarez at home.
Yeah. Even if
I
they
don't mean
need
to
to
say
do
it-
what they did.
I don't mean to say it like that, but come on,
No, that's what I say. I think we have the advantage because we aren't, we can't be studied, so it's like we have to take advantage and win. Like I don't want any excuses. We have the opportunity, we have different players, we have the quality, like we have to win. I don't care if it's a 1-0. Like we just need to win. That way we can go in Tuesday and then golearlos. That's
Let's
when
not
I'm
underestimate Juarez now. Come on. They have now one player with the unfortunate name Estupiñan. They have Aviles Hurtado. Who else do they have, guys? Well, didn't what's his face just leave the club for Rayados and then he got injured?
Carlos
Who's that guy? Is that Estupiñan who scored a really nice goal against us the last time we played?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why Carlos remembers his name.
Yeah.
He's good. Well, I remember. I mean, I was okay with it in the end because we came back to win. But yeah. They always have that one player. For a while, it was, what was that guy's name? Lescano, the Paraguayo.
Lescano.
They had Lescano.
Lescano.
They've had a few different guys over the years who have tormented us.
Yeah. So
yeah,
let's not underestimate them. We have
usually not at the expense of the final result, but there've been those guys that are just thorns in our side.
Yeah.
Whenever we play. Yeah.
We'll be all right though. I think we'll be all right. It'll be. I mean, I think we're gonna have a pretty big crowd. Obviously, it's the first home game, but I think people are just gonna come out excited just because of the the new player James and all the.
It's gonna be nuts. I'm not looking forward to the stadium logistical experience because it's gonna be absolutely packed.
Are you gonna get there earlier than you usually do?
I'm gonna get there considerably earlier than I usually do, at least to León, because the feria is going on right now.
Yeah.
And right after the match, I think it's the same night. Sam Smith is performing at the Feria.
Oh my God, I saw. I was like, what is
So-
Sam Smith doing in Leon?
So it's going to be a madhouse. I'm praying that my usual parking spot is going to be available.
Mm.
Yeah, you have to get there really,
I'm gonna
really
get there
early.
super early. I'm gonna get there really
Yeah.
early.
Yeah, you got to give
When
us
does-
you got to give us an update on like the new lighting system and the new sound system,
Yeah,
all that good
well,
stuff.
and I don't know if you saw the thing. Apparently, there's a whole new food court.
Yeah,
area.
I did see
Really?
that. And I saw they were having
Yeah.
like happy hour 2-for-1 beers or what? What are they doing?
No, I think it's beers for 90 pesos.
It's
But,
good
like-
because they were like 120 last time I went.
Well, yeah, the happy hour, so 1 hour before the match. I'm very, very curious to see though how this food court is. Can you still access it once you go inside the tribuna? Because they did have a few things in place last time,
Hmm.
but once you're inside, you can't go back out and then go back in. Like they don't allow it. So like it's not gonna be all that cool or all that useful if they don't have a way to. I mean, they're gonna have to adjust the way the entry where they scan your ticket so you can go in and out. Because otherwise, I don't know. It's not much of an improvement.
Nice.
I'm looking at the Leon Tigres game is February 22nd.
You going to that one?
I'm trying to. That's a Saturday.
I told you, Cuddy, I'd be able to get you tickets, but that was before they sold out all the Fierabonos in my area.
I know.
So I don't think I'm going to be able to help you out anymore, unfortunately.
I don't know. I'm like thinking, if I buy a Fierabono with that, I would just need to buy another ticket, right?
Yeah, but you can only get them in Puerta Cinco and Puerta Diez.
I know it sucks because they're behind the goals.
Yeah.
But hey, if it's just like being there in the moment, like being there, that's all that matters at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, I think those Fierabonos, the ones behind the cabeceras, those are only 1,500 pesos.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a pretty good deal to see James all season. And even if you end up only going to a couple of matches,
Yeah.
it's, I mean, that's still, you'd pay that much for one ticket, for one seat at a Xolos or Monterrey match.
True.
The bad thing is that you have revendedores, right? Which, I mean, the club just put out a comunicado right now talking about that, where you have
Really?
where you have like Chivas fans, for example, they want to come to Leon they want to secure their seat, right?
Mm,
And instead of having to buy through Boleto Móvil or whatever, and risking not finding tickets, they'll just buy a Fierabono and just call it a season. Never attend a game except for that one Chivas game.
Yeah.
That's what sucks.
that's
That's what
not
sucks. This is kind of
okay. Oh, well, that's
well,
low
this
key
is-
You didn't
pissing
know
me
about
off.
that? You guys
No,
didn't know
that's
about that?
pissing me
Yeah.
off.
I mean, this is kind of an unprecedented issue. I don't even think they expected this boost in Fierabono sales, and so it's like all these new issues that are coming about. Like they're saying that I mean, I heard around por ahí that a lot of the Fierabonos that were just purchased by revendedores, and they'll sell off the individual games.
Yeah.
And so
People
all the
really
seats are
ruin
sold,
it.
but there may end up being a lot of empty seats because
Yeah.
so not all those tickets are going to get purchased. So hopefully that doesn't happen. I do expect, regardless, I expect this first game to be pretty full.
Yeah.
I expect the Chivas game to be pretty full. Those Chivas fans, they'll find their way in
Yeah.
like they always do.
They'll creep through.
They're like
They'll slip
roaches,
through
man,
they'll slip
everywhere.
through the cracks.
They're like leeches.
I mean, I know I can't really talk. I know all about slipping through the cracks to get into matches that I shouldn't be at or wouldn't otherwise be accessible. I mean, I do that. That's just, if you want to go to every game, you kind of have to do that sometimes.
I'm like, if not, maybe I'll go to the Leon Puebla game.
I'll bet you
probably.
could, even in Reventa, I'll bet you could find some
Yeah.
not
That's
too.
April
too-
12th. And then the last game of the jornada is April 20th. At
April
home.
20th.
Not bad.
Against
Yeah.
who? Rayados.
Rayados.
I knew it.
Not bad. Yeah, not bad. Well, but for the tickets for example that Leon Tigres game, that's a Saturday. When did the tickets come out on sale? Like that Tuesday, Wednesday?
Yeah, it's usually a few days before, right? Like 3, 4 days before
Something
that they
like
go on
that.
sale. Something like that.
Well, I'll let you know if I get tickets for that game. For the Tigres game, that would be a good game to go. Okay. Well, I guess kind of gave a bit of our predictions. Well, not predictions, but I say let's go ahead and do predictions. No.
Do we do the sound effects again?
Oh, well, Luis do his sound effect.
No, I can't. No. Yeah. Prediction time.
See, there you go.
I guess it wasn't that
Okay.
hard. Are we doing for both matches?
Yeah, we probably should.
Yeah, because I
Because we're
don't
probably
think
not going to get a. I doubt we'll get a show in before Tuesday.
Yeah.
that would mean we have to pod Monday.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
up to y'all.
Well, I mean, let's do both. Yeah, let's do both.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Louis, go ahead.
Okay. I'm gonna go with a 3-1 for against Juarez. I think we get up by a couple relatively early. Estupinian makes it interesting some point in the second half, and then maybe James gets his first to open his account with the club.
Really?
To put us up 3-1 and ride off into the sunset. And then for Tuesday against you know who, I'll go with 2-0.
Okay.
2-0. Okay.
2-0. Mm-hmm.
Also to say, I got the Atlas one right. I said 2-1 Leon.
You
Oh,
did.
I
did
got
you?
that one right. Yeah.
I said, what did I say?
You said 2-0.
2-0. Okay.
You know what? This season, I say we need to keep up with our scores
We should.
and then see. Because what did remember, Louis? Do you remember what you said for the
For a
Atlas
I said
game?
little-
3. I said 3-1.
So Atlas.
We should have a little quiniela, huh?
Yeah, we need to do that.
Quiniela.
So I have Carlos, Louis. Carlos, you said 2-0. Louis said, what'd you say, Louis? 3?
I said this time I said 3-1. Actually, last time I also
No,
said
no,
3-1.
no. Oh, okay, 3-1. 2-1. And then this is Chivas Leon? No, Juarez, sorry. Juarez Leon. Louis said 3-1. And then 2-0 in the Chivas one. Okay, Carlos.
Leon Juarez. I'm gonna go 2-1 Leon. Think Cadiz will get one. And let's give one to Rioni. Cadiz and Rioni. And yeah, I think we'll give one up in the first half. We'll give one up in the first half. But we'll get out of there with the win 2-1. And then for Chivas, man, I love beating Chivas. 1-0. I think, doble jornada and tired legs. Some of our guys might not be ready to go the full 90. So I'm gonna go 1-0.
Okay. So Juarez Leon, I'm gonna go 1-0. If they score more, fantastic. But with 1-0,
No,
we
not
still would win the
fantastic
game.
because then you'd be behind in the results prediction standings.
Yeah, you have to
Which was just your idea, your idea to keep track of it. So you don't.
There's
I mean, you
there's
don't
more
want to.
games though. Look,
You don't want to
I'm
start
like,
with the pie izquierdo.
pero yo empecé con el pie derecho.
That's true. You did.
I'm gonna go 1-0 just because I think with these games, they always come to haunt us something. But we need to secure a win Just 1-0. Secure it. If we score
Mm,
like 3-0, like mejor, right? But
mm.
and then Chivas León. I'm gonna say 3-1.
Damn.
I want 3 goals.
You know what? Honestly, it could be a higher scoring against Chivas just because of the national spotlight.
Mm,
Like we tend to do better against the grandes because like there's
mm.
always that national spotlight and the stadium's usually a lot more full.
I think the only thing with Chivas is that they don't have a good like goal scorer right now. So I'm like maybe like I see, maybe Piojo scoring a penalty or like I don't know.
Well, at least we're gonna see the reunion of Chicharito and James.
That'll be
Yeah.
interesting. But
That's
no
gonna be
disrespect to
interesting.
Chicharito because I've admired him throughout his career, but he looks heavy. He looks heavy and slow, unfortunately.
Yeah, he has to call it a career, man.
Well, he's
Yeah.
old and beat up. I mean,
He's
how many
beat up.
injuries? How many injuries is that body taken? Like that stuff
Yeah,
catches up to you.
it does,
You
and I
know,
think it
I
finally did.
I got no beef with the man really. We all know how I feel about the Selección Mexicana, but Chicharito, he was a good player in his day. I got
Yeah,
you know I got no, not going to deny that, but he is objectively cashed.
he's past it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, like I said, I like him. I admire him throughout his whole career. Like, such a good player, but it's time to hang it up. I think it's time. And I want to say a lot of Chiba fans feel the same way, but they probably don't say it. But
Honestly, like if Chivas let go of Chicharito and they signed Pablo Barrera, they'd have a much better time. They'd have a much better player, like at a much cheaper price too.
I just wonder how long Paulo Herrera is going to keep going because
I mean,
that
he's
man, I
scoring.
feel like
He's,
he's been
he's
there
scoring
forever.
dobletes. He's scoring dobletes on Pumas. Like,
And
it's
what's
crazy.
kind of like, okay, that's like he was like apologizing, not wanting to celebrate against Pumas. I'm like, man, it's been years, bro. Like you gotta let it go. After the first year, I think if you've been with a team with a long time and you go to a new team, you score against them, por el primer año or maybe the first time you score on them, okay, maybe you don't want to celebrate, whatever. But ya pasaron años. Like
Yeah.
you shouldn't feel bad at that point, that not wanting to celebrate.
Do you guys think if Charal scores against Chivas, he celebrates or no?
I'll be mad if he doesn't.
If who scores? Oh,
Charal
Cisneros.
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 Because it's at home, probably he would, at least a little bit. If it
I would
were
be mad if he doesn't.
if it were
Yeah.
in the Akron, maybe not.
Hmm.
I'd be like, look, y'all let me go. I'm better now. I'm with better quality players. Like I would be celebrating. That's just me,
Yeah.
my mentality. But
Yeah.
okay. Well, I guess after these next 2 jornadas, we'll see how we do on the Quiniela.
Yeah, I mean, we have a good chance to remain at the top of the table with these next 2 games, and they're both winnable games. It's not like we're going up
Yeah.
against like contenders, right? These are not
Yeah.
contender teams. They're okay teams. You're not supposed to underestimate any team, but they're definitely winnable games, and I just hope and wish for the best. I hope we don't pecar de soberbia and we take care of business. Let's just take care of business. I said it last episode. I said, beat the teams you're supposed to beat and take care of business, and we'll be all right. And these are the teams we're supposed to beat.
Yeah. And I think the thing is like these 2 teams have new coaches. So Martin Marini and Oscar. So they're still figuring out their team. Obviously, like I said, they don't have much to study from us, especially what lineup. So I do think, like Carlos, that we just have to secure these 2 games and maintain a good start because we have the opportunity. Why not?
Yeah.
Okay. Because after that, we are away at Mazatlan, away at Pachuca, and then home to Toluca. So not too bad.
Yeah.
Yep. Got a
Okay.
couple trips coming up.
Well, I think that is all. So thank you so much for listening to this podcast. We hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, don't forget to watch Club Leon this weekend. Reminder, it is a doble jornada, so make sure you have your reminders set on the Leon games. But yeah, so we'll catch you next time on another episode of the Lions and Podcast.
Are we off?
Yeah.